There is no one thing that means you are going to be successful. And I'm doing air quotes again because we're going to talk about using the word success after bariatric surgery. So there's no kind of one simple, magical thing that will lead you to be what you see as successful.
Welcome to the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast, where we empower you with weight loss surgery, nutrition knowledge, mindset advice, and inspiration so you succeed in your weight and health journey. I'm your host, Jane Stoltz, and I am a bariatric dietitian who has helped over 1,300 people on their weight loss surgery journeys. I'm also a solo mum, lover of long walks while listening to podcasts, partial to a glass of wine, and the ocean is my happy place. Join me as I dive deep into bariatric nutrition and lifestyle topics and deliver them to you in bite-sized, palatable episodes every Monday. Now let's go.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Bariatric Nutrition Coach podcast. Today's episode is a solo episode, so I am by myself chatting to you, and I wanted to talk about the question, and we're going to go into this obviously in much more detail. What is the key to bariatric success? And you've probably asked yourself this at some stage, maybe in different words, of like, what do other people do? If you're not feeling, say, successful, and I'm using air quotes, what do other people do? How do I get the best out of my bariatric surgery? And I'm going to talk about this topic today. The first thing I want to say is there is no one thing that means you are going to be successful. And I'm doing air quotes again because we're going to talk about using the word success after bariatric surgery. So there's no kind of one simple, magical thing that will lead you to be what you see as successful. And also today is about me sharing my thoughts on what leads some people to go down the track of their bariatric journey and reach goals and really get the most out of their bariatric procedure, and other people kind of really struggling and not quite getting there. So these are my thoughts. These have come from me working with over around 1,700 people now in my career as a bariatric dietitian, before, from pre-surgery and every stage after. When I reflect on all of the clients I have worked with over my many years as a bariatric dietitian, and I look at the clients who've really raced their bariatric journey, got great results, changed their lives, improved their health outcomes, and really got the most out of their bariatric journey, there are 5 key qualities they have, qualities, actions, and even some of them might even fall into their mindset. So these are kind of 5 points that I want to go through one by one and share with you what I've observed and also the impact it has on getting the most out of your bariatric journey. Number 1 is that these clients have entered their bariatric journey really knowing that the surgery is just a tool and that they are going to have to really work on making big changes in their life. And when I talk about knowing that it's just a tool, I am talking about not only in the head, but also in the heart. And let me explain what I mean. The fact that bariatric surgery is just a tool gets talked about a lot in groups, Facebook groups, social media, and all over the place. You'll see surgeons say it, but it's one thing to really understand and know that in your head as well as your heart. And what I mean by that is often I find people going into their bariatric journey saying, oh yes, it's just a tool, but really hoping it just fixes everything. It just takes away all of the discomfort and all of the pain and shame and all the things that come with being overweight and obese brings. And really wanting that quick fix, and certainly not a quick fix, but feeling like, okay, if I'm going to also work and get some good results in the early days, then I'm done. I'm normal, and I'm using air quotes. I can eat normally. It's all done. It's gone. And my weight troubles, all of that's gone. Okay. So I'm going to go back and repeat what this mindset is about, which is that bariatric surgery is just a tool and big behavior change is going to be needed for the rest of your life. But knowing it not just at a head level, but a heart level, really knowing and being okay with it, like surrendering to it. People often say, if I use the word surrender, they say, oh, Jane, that kind of sounds like giving up. I don't mean giving up. I mean just accepting it and really getting that it is just a tool and that what you do and the rest of your life comes into getting the most out of your surgery as well as keeping all those lovely results. So that's number one. The clients that I observed that do better, they have entered their bariatric journey really knowing that it is just a tool. It is not a silver bullet. It is not a quick fix. And they just really get it from and understand and accept it from day one. Number two is these clients set their own goals. And yes, when I'm working with clients, we set goals together. But what I mean is their goals are specific for them. It is what success, and I'm using air quotes, is going to look like for them. It comes very much down or back to their why for having surgery, but they're very focused on their journey. They don't get stuck in the comparison trap of trying to reach a goal that their surgeon set or that a weight that they were when they were 21 or someone has surgery on the same day and they've lost a certain amount of weight and they personally haven't. So they're very focused on their journey. It is, and they get it's their life, their journey. No one else matters. What does, air quotes, success mean to them? What does getting the best out of their weight loss surgery look like for them? And that is very personal. So number two is that these clients set their own goals, are very focused on their own journey. And even if in the early days that comparison trap happens, getting very clear about that it's not going to work for them. It's not going to help them on their journey. So kind of blinkering that out and being really focused on where they're heading. So we've done number one and two. Let's move on to number three. Number three is that they build a team for themselves for their journey. And this probably won't be some surprise to some degree because I'm talking about clients that I've worked with. So they've chosen not only through when I worked at a very busy bariatric centre, but they chose to keep coming back to see me. They chose to keep engaging in their follow-up appointments. But also now that I work solely online, people are reaching out and saying, I need support. I can't do this all on their own. So the mindset of the most successful, air quotes, most successful people after the bariatric journey are really they get it and they don't feel shame or embarrassment that they actually need a team and the wonderful benefits of having a team. And that team approach is such a powerful way to support yourself. And I'm talking, it can be your primary care provider, your GP. And I have recently, it hasn't gone published yet, a podcast with a lovely client who had her GP just so thrilled and so excited for her when her pathology improved. We were talking in the podcast about sometimes your GP is always just like, this is not good, this is not good. But they are also there to tell you when things are great, and they're also there to help you if you fall in a pothole. GP, primary care provider, can be part of your team. Obviously, a bariatric surgeon. Do you need a specialist for other health issues? They're part of your team. Exercise person, someone that if you have challenges moving your body, this pain and discomfort and limitations, having somebody help you safely and with the least amount of pain move and be active is so wonderful in the bariatric journey, or for everyone. Moving the body is so wonderful for sleep, stress relief, and all the other lovely things that activity brings us. Having a dietitian, yes, so really understanding what foods to eat, how to plate your food up, the what to eat and the how to eat. And yes, even like a psychologist, psychiatrist, somebody to help you work on that really deeper emotional work. So building a team is so powerful. Your team can look different to someone else's team. It can change. And what I always say to my clients is you keep trying and talking, to different professionals until you find the right people for you on your team. We don't click with everyone. You can go and see a primary care provider and you think, they're lovely, they're a very nice person, but I just don't gel with them. Keep on looking to find somebody that you really connect with. No one, as a medical health practitioner, is for everyone. So building a team is really, really powerful. And part of that is that really getting, understanding and accepting and being fine and seeing the benefits that you don't actually have to do the journey on your own. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Most people cannot do it all by themselves to a high level of success. You need at some point or all the way through support. You need cheerleaders. You need people to help you when you fall in a bit of a pothole. So building a team is so, so important. So number 4, what's the fourth thing that I see in my clients that do better in their bariatric journey? And the number 4 point is that they are open to doing emotional work. So this doesn't mean necessarily that they are going to a psychologist or psychiatrist or a counsellor. They can be, and that is fantastic. That's wonderful work to do alongside the very practical work, say, that I do with my clients. It doesn't have to be to that point or that need. You might not need to feel that you need to see someone that specialises in the area of psychology or a counsellor. But even if you don't feel you need to do that, still being open, these clients are still open to reflecting on the reasons why they eat when they're not hungry, reflecting on the patterns and triggers for non-hungry eating, seeing what emotions and being okay with the emotions that come up as part of the bariatric journey, being able to bring them up, talk about them, and work through strategies to manage that. So that is such an important part of the bariatric journey. You would have heard me say it, and I've heard it before. The emotional journey after bariatric surgery can be a lot harder than the physical one. So being open to doing emotional work, being open to sitting with the emotions and feelings that come up at different points in your bariatric journey is very hard, but it is really the work that needs to happen, because so many people struggle with emotional eating, and we all eat for emotional reasons, but emotional and non-hungry eating can be a really big part of many, many people's journey. And the last point, number 5, of what I see in my clients that do better in their bariatric journey, not just from the short term to the long term, is that they know this is a journey that's lifelong. So this does relate to some of the other points, but I wanted to pull it out separately because it is very common that people will talk about and say, oh, I am a year post-surgery. It's been a long time. I say you are still in the early days. It is a lifelong journey, and knowing that you are struggling with the disease of obesity and it needs to be seen as a lifelong management plan, that I need to look after my health for the rest of my life, like you would if you had been diagnosed with diabetes. You don't get a few interventions, you don't do things for a period of time and then say, great, I'm in air quotes normal, I can go off It is a lifelong journey. And that is not to put a heavy weight on your shoulders or feel like thinking, it's like climbing a mountain. Is this never going to end? That is why we really want to establish habits and food choices and really build your life around these wonderful habits so they become less effortful. They just happen. We do them. The habits that you do all the time require less cognitive effort because they are a habit that you're just used to doing. Okay. It's like brushing your teeth in the morning and in the evening. You don't have to put always reminders on and all of that. It's just kind of that part of that daily routine. That's what we want to do with a lot of our eating and health habits after bariatric surgery. They just happen. And does that take a while to get going? Definitely. But that's how we can keep going with these habits for the rest of our life. But what comes where it stems from is that real understanding and acceptance and embracing this is my new life as a person that's had bariatric surgery, and I'm going to embrace living a healthier life. This is not just for the short term, it's for the long term.
Now tell me, is this you? You have had your bariatric surgery and you're feeling lost, you're lacking support, and you don't know what to eat and when. Or you may have noticed after your surgery, your hunger and cravings have started to return and you are scared you won't reach your goals. You may have had some weight regain and you want to stop the weight regain and lose some more weight. You may be pre-surgery and you want support to be fully prepared for your weight loss surgery journey. If any of these sound like you, then listen up. I have developed my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp just for you. My coaching program provides education, coaching and community for people getting ready for their weight loss surgery and at every stage after their surgery.
You were so fantastic. You didn't just go, here you go, off you go. You were like, right, here you go. Let's do it step by step. And it's that step by step. If somebody's prepared to help you like that, it's immeasurable. It's priceless.
Your help just changed the game for me, right? It just changed the trajectory of my ability to understand what my body's telling me and trusting it. That was a hard one, right? Because my body, I can override it in a lot of ways in the past.
I think that hiring Jane has actually been the best thing that I've done. I was lost. I had no idea what to expect. I've never done bariatric surgery before. I've never had it done before. So yes, you have all the information from your surgeon and from their nutritionist and all that sort of stuff. If you have lifetime support, that's great. But a lot of times you don't. So you need to take that next step and invest in yourself because that's what it is. It's the most amazing investment that I've made.
There are 4 key areas that I focus on with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp. One is the Bariatric Nutrition Basics. You will learn what and how to eat so you feel satisfied, reach your protein and fluid goals, and have less cravings, and know how to manage your hunger in the future. Meal ideas and meal planning. You'll learn to plan meals and snacks that you like, so you have great options on hand when it comes time to eat. Also, we focus on mastering weight regain habits, identifying any habits that are stopping you from reaching your goals, and create manageable strategies to get back on the straight and narrow so you can manage your weight for the rest of your life. And also, I focus with my clients in my Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp on learning to trust your body and food. Start to enjoy your food again by relearning to listen to your body cues so you have less guilt and improve your relationship with food and your body. If you are ready to maximize your weight loss surgery results, feel confident in your journey, and be led with support and expert guidance, then the Bariatric Nutrition Bootcamp is for you. If you would like to know more about my coaching program, check out the link in the show notes.
So let me do a recap. And if you listen to my other podcasts, I love a recap. I love to bring it all together towards the end of the podcast. So number one is that the clients that I see are overall doing better after their weight loss surgery. They enter their bariatric surgery knowing in the head and the heart it's just a tool, that behaviour change is really key part of their journey. Number two, they set their own goals. They have their own path. They are looking on their path, their journey. They're not looking at what other people are doing. They are very focused. It's their life. No one else matters. And their goals and what they are looking for out of their bariatric journey is very personal to them. Number three is that these people know that they don't need to do it on their own. They have stepped over or pushed aside any shame or feeling embarrassed if they're struggling, and they've said, I need help and I know the benefit of needing help, and they've built a team. They know having these people in their team that they can go to if they need help is really, really important and really beneficial for them and their health. Number four is being open to doing the emotional work, being okay when the emotions come up, knowing it's really hard, but knowing it's also part of what needs to happen to improve their relationship with food and their body. And number five is really knowing deep down this is their new life, that their bariatric journey does not end at a certain point after bariatric surgery, that it's lifelong. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I hope you've found maybe a few points, even if it's one point that's made you kind of reflect on your journey. If you haven't had bariatric surgery, it could be really quite eye-opening. It could be something that really has you start thinking about what your thoughts are about having your surgery and what post-bariatric surgery is going to look like. But if you've had bariatric surgery, no matter what stage you are, it can be great to reflect on, what did I think when I went into having my bariatric surgery? Do I think a bit differently now? Can I see things maybe a bit differently? And that's all normal and good, because sometimes you just don't know what life is going to be like after your bariatric surgery, and how could you if you've never had it before? But I hope you found value in my chat today, my sharing my thoughts, my observations from my practice as a bariatric dietitian. Thank you so much for supporting my podcast, by listening to it, by downloading, and listening to my podcast. I don't advertise my podcast. I do on my Instagram, but I don't anywhere else. So I would love you to share my podcast with anyone that you feel would find my podcast of value. If you do it on social media, please tag me and I'll give you a personal shout out here in my podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and I really look forward to being back in your ears next week. Bye for now.